This new COD cheat is pretty bad. Legal aimbot, no recoil, mouse aim assist. Good buddy Jack put out a video. I started to watch this, but I figured we'd watch it on stream, watch it together, add some of our own thoughts to it as well.
Let's take a look at something that I've seen recently that really shocked me and I found hilarious, but I do think it's going to be a big problem. So what is it then? Well, it's a program called Rewaster. There might be other programs that do similar things, and it essentially creates a virtual controller on PC.
This is actually worse than I thought it was, because I thought it was at least some hardware or something you had to put in and use. And I know people use something similar to this on controller, on console as well, but this makes it even more accessible.
You can use it to emulate a DualShock 4 or an Xbox 360 controller, for example, and customize the layout to whatever you need. What's the problem here? I don't think the developers set out for this to be a way to cheat. So how are bad actors abusing this? Well, a lot of competitive FPS games use input as a factor in their matchmaking. So even if I was using the mouse and keyboard, with this software, the game will think that I'm on controller and it will favor other controller players to play against. Most of those people will be playing on console.
There was some data that actually Jack, I think, was one of the guys who did this, but there was a couple other videos that I saw back in the day, even all the way back to Warzone in Modern Warfare 2019, where they tested based on which input you have. If you go into a game, who does it match you with? And typically, if you are on a controller, it will skew you to other controllers. If everybody on your team had a controller, if one person had a mouse, then it would throw you in with more mouse players. In general, it was a sample that they did over many games, different accounts. So it was pretty well tested, but of course, kind of have to take it with a grain of salt because they can only do so much research. And obviously, the devs don't actually tell us any of these things.
Second thing, you probably guessed this already.
Because they do a mouse and key with a device that, the Zim, that lets you plug into your console, so you get aim assist on your mouse and key while you're playing on controller on console. People will do that, and those are like the highest ranked players. So he'll go in and try and 1v1 them and then get absolutely destroyed and yell and rage about it and just call them a bunch of cheaters, because technically they are, but they can't detect it. And it's just like common place on Siege, at least from what I can tell. I haven't been in the Siege community for a long time. I used to do top plays on the game for an extremely long time. It was very popular. Some of you guys are saying, yeah.
Aim assist. And if you're somebody who plays a lot of Call of Duty, which has both aim assist slowdown plus rotational aim assist, where the game...
Rotational aim assist is as long as you are strafing. Big tip, if you're playing this game, you haven't heard of it, wake up. While you're strafing, you don't even need to touch the right stick, and it'll keep yourself magneted on the enemy. So there's that on top of regular aim assist, which is just as you put your crosshair over an enemy, it decreases the actual movement speed of the crosshair to make it easier to get the shot. So you're moving quick, you get on target, and then it makes it nice low sensitivity, keeps it tracking on the target too. So especially if you're close range, this is the biggest factor for aim assist. You see this guy's like 5 meters away from him, maybe less. If he just jumps across the screen and it's really hard to stay on that and react to it quickly. But if the crosshair just tracks with it already naturally, it pulls your aim with both of those things. That's why it's so powerful. And then when you have the precision, the quick 180 capability, the quick target swap target acquisition, everything with the mouse, that's where you start stacking, and it is a tremendous benefit over everything
There's already
else.
A big advantage in close to medium range gunfights, but it gets worse than this because you can use Rewaster to implement configs that essentially give you no recoil on specific guns.
No, dude, it's a Cronus as well.
In previous games like Warzone, especially when that exploded in 2020, people using Cronuses and strike packs where they would run scripts on the controller so they had no recoil. You can also...
That previously was not bannable. I believe they introduced that as a bannable offense into Fortnite first a couple years ago, and I believe that is now bannable. Cronus is now bannable, where you're basically, when you shoot, you set up the profile for this is the gun I'm using, and it'll automatically counter the recoil for you. And the thing is God, half of the guns in this game already have no recoil or barely any recoil compared to like almost any other game that I've played.
So I can't personally attest to how it feels. However, there's a guy on YouTube that I found called It's Just Sneaky who demonstrated this in a video recently, and he's calling out people using this. It's a good video. I'll link it down below if you want to see this program in action.
All right, there's one other thing I got to say on this too. I don't know if you guys saw the huge controversy on the finals. This game has even crazier aim assist, where when you aim down sight, it's the snap aim assist. So it will literally, you're looking over to the left, you go aim down sight with your shotgun, and it'll just move the crosshair to the dude right on point. So you stack this. Yeah, this could be a problem.
And he showcases this in a game called The Finals. Now, aim assist in this game has already caught a lot of flack. He showed a clip where he was using the F car and he's on mouse and keyboard. You can see the icons change in the bottom right to signify that. He fires at the wall with the F car and you can see there's a significant amount of recoil there. And then he activates the re-WASD config for that gun. The icons in the bottom right switch to controller. And as you can see, he says he's not controlling the recoil here. The config in the re-WASD program is making sure that all of the bullets are going in roughly the same place
to counter the movement.
Using this all together
for
on
you.
The test dummies. And it's pretty crazy. You can move up and down, jump around, no recoil, gluing onto your opponents and being automatically rotated with the aim assist.
Oh my
and remember,
God.
because the game thinks that you're on controller with strong input-based matchmaking, you're more than likely going to be paired up against other controller players. Most of them on console. They're not going to be using this. And in my opinion, in a PvP game, this kind of thing is definitely cheating. It crosses that line for me.
It's definitely
I imagine there are
cheating,
people
right?
using this
I mean,
in Apex, but I know that companies like Activision and EA have been working with the console manufacturers, Xbox and PlayStation, to detect these devices and ban them. And I've seen lots of evidence with Warzone in particular where people have used these devices and they're asked to unplug them before they can keep playing. If they don't, they'll get banned.
It's bannable
but with
now.
re-WASD
That was not the case
other
back in the
programs like
initial
it,
Warzone
I think
either.
it's a little bit different, because it's emulation essentially, creating a virtual controller. So I don't think that this is the end of the world or anything like that, but I want to shed more light on it. I don't mean any shade to the developers of re-WASD. They probably set out to build this with all good intentions. Like, emulation's cool.
Yeah.
Controller emulation's cool, as I mentioned.
Especially
There's
for
a ton
old
of
games and
legitimate,
retro games.
interesting and fun reasons to use this program on your PC. If there's a certain
They got
PC game that you
Joy-Cons.
want to use a specific controller on, it doesn't work, well, you could use this. If you've got an older controller and you want your PC to think that it's a DualShock 4, you could use this. But because of how insane aim assist has got in PvP games,
Dude, it's so
with
crazy.
cross-play and cross-input matchmaking, people will use this to gain an advantage. And some might just use it in public matches. Others might use it in tournaments where there's money on the line. Ultimately, this stuff is out there, and I feel that I have a duty to talk about this and showcase it so it gets nipped in the bud by the developers, because I think this is pretty
100%,
crazy.
dude. This has
At the
gotta.
moment, technically, I don't think it would be detected as a cheat.
At
As I
least in,
mentioned,
like,
maybe
ranked
future
ban it.
will. That's why I'm not installing it on my PC. I don't want
the
to catch a
anti-cheat,
ban.
do
And
you
just to
have
be
this
clear, I don't
program
want
open?
people to think that this is a video complaining about aim assist. It isn't. If mouse and
No,
keyboard players
F
complain
aim
about aim
assist!
assist, I
Tell
don't think
them,
it's going
Jack!
to change.
F
It is
it!
what it is, and it's up to the
Nerf
developers of
aim
these games
assist!
to decide what they deem appropriate for that. I'm sure that some people who have installed this program have used that as the reasoning to justify what they're doing.
I can't
Of
imagine
course,
it's just
that's their
one-to-one.
prerogative. That's their opinion. But should the ability to use this program to give yourself aim assist on mouse and keyboard be allowed in the terms and agreements of the game? In my opinion, as I said, I think it crosses the line. But hey, at some point, they might just put aim assist on your mouse anyway.
There
in
you
the game
go.
Officially. Who
Let's
knows?
go.
Not that I would want that, but never
Let's
say
go.
never.
It's these little things, though, that, like, some people just fully abuse that sucks. There it is, man. Jack's great. I love his videos. I've been watching him for a very long time. If you guys haven't seen him, I'm glad he brought it up. This is a super good topic, and hopefully, shed some more light on it. Hopefully, more of it gets banned. Anti-recoil macros, 100% cheating. Yep.